This is the Contextualism Critique for Memento Number 5 by Carrie James Marshall. This painting was created in 2003 using acrylic, collage, silkscreen, and glitter on canvas. The dimensions sit around 9 by 13 feet.
All right. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that several factors just make me want to think and remember something, like the title being memento, and just the word itself, remember, leading into this white cloud of very light gray faces, lighter than everything else. All these faces I recognize as figures that died, I assume within the era that this piece is based on.
Yeah, definitely. The dates that are in the image are really the civil rights era, where we see the Black community really come together as one against like the Jim Crow laws, just racial segregation. For example, like in 1960, the Greensboro sit-ins were happening, and that was where college students, I think it was like 7 or however many, sat into a diner and refused to leave until they were served. And then after this, like hundreds of people followed them, and it just started to be like called the Greensboro sit-ins. So that was just one of the things that happened during this time period. Like the Civil Rights Act of 1960 passed, Fair Housing Act of 1968. So during this period, a lot of the Black community started to show up in numbers as one, and this really like pushed the legislation to pass during this period.
Mm-hmm. The 1960s emphasized a lot of racial pride too, and economic empowerment especially. And something that I noticed is like the cloud configuration at the top, and how we see John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert Kennedy, and Malcolm X on the other side. Like, these are heroes, and I think because of the cloud and it's we're commemorating these heroes of like the civil rights movement.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely a memento, according to the title, just inciting people to remember this important movement, especially with the central figure in the middle, just trying to frame this and just show why it was important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I noticed like how the dates end at like 1969, and after like 1969 to 2002, present day, like we really see Black Americans gain more recognition for their achievements. Martin Luther King, he was given the Nobel Peace Prize. I think the first Black woman and man, Black American woman and man were elected in the Supreme Court. Also, the first African American woman was awarded an Oscar. It was Halle Berry. Yeah, so that also like goes with the glittery curtains, how like now it's we're seeing the Black community and their talents starting to be recognized by everyone, and a gain of political power as well.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a call to attention to remember those who have gone unrecognized or under-recognized in the cultural and political history and movement.
Absolutely. And at the same time, not forgetting those that were more famous and were more recognized using the faces.
Mm-hmm. And I know that, his, like, Marshall and his point today in contemporary art, this is his way of representing the Black Americans and representing the Black culture from this gap that we see in the canon art, like that wasn't what was represented back then. We see him, it's the central figure of this painting, like this Black figure, you know, and she's so powerful and stoic. And I think what the audience gets from it is like, we're left with this call, you know, this action, this power.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think that sums everything about. I'm going to stop the recording right now.